Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. When we listen to the science of life, it seems so obvious that really it is so. But the question is, when it is so simple, when it is so straight, when it is so obvious, why don't we practice that in our life? Like, many people say this thing, that when we are listening to you, Swamiji, things are very simple. All the problems get dissolved. And when we go back to our own rut, all the problems which were waiting for us, they receive us with Purna Kumbha. What is the reason? Why can't we apply this knowledge in our life? This is the problem. Now let us try to understand this. See, all of us live our own convictions. Suppose my conviction is that I am a man. So, this conviction is so deeply rooted that my language expresses it. Suppose I had to say something in Hindi, and I will say, मैं जा रहा हूँ. Now this मैं जा रहा हूँ, I am going, in English it is not possible. Therefore I said in Hindi. So when I say मैं जा रहा हूँ, this knowledge or this statement reflects that I have accepted myself to be man. And suppose I say, मैं जा रही हूँ, so all of you start laughing. Why do you compete with us? Isn't it? So, all of us live our own convictions. Therefore, if this knowledge is so simple, it is so straight, and it is available to every one of us without any clause, why we don't practice it? The reason is, this is only information. Information is a load. Conviction is light. When we are fully convinced, then you will see, you will automatically start finding out the ways and the means to apply this knowledge in one's life. Is it not? Now, for example, we are convinced that clean clothes are very good. Now, when we are convinced about it, we will take care of it. When we are sitting somewhere, we will always see the place where we are sitting is not dirty. Now, are we convinced that much about the purity of our mind? See? We take for granted, mind is always pure. But the impurity of the mind is the desire, the lust, the anger, the greed, the envy, the jealousy, the frustration, depression, arrogance. All these uncalled for contents of the mind, they are the impurities and they are required to be removed. See? How many of us are really convinced of this fact? Very, very rare people. And unless this conviction comes, we will not apply this knowledge in our life. Our conviction is, Swamiji, it is okay, you are a Swami, Babaji, good for nothing. But when you have to take care of your children, unless you become angry, They will not listen to you. So what we do? We justify becoming angry and we don't want to give up the anger. So for us, presence of anger in our mind is a necessity. It is not impurity. So unless we are fully convinced of this, that whatever knowledge we are getting here, it is the best and the ultimate, then only we will work for that. Like I told you, those people who have this conviction, the ultimate in life is to go to USA. After you go to USA, the ultimate in USA is to get an H1. After you get that, then the next ultimate is to get the green card. After you get the green card, next ultimate is to get the citizenship. After you get citizenship, start teaching the Indians how to live in India. See? And why we follow that path? Because we are fully convinced. We are having clear understanding about it. In the same manner, if we are convinced that the world is nothing but the manifestation of the Lord, we are none other than His glory, and therefore our life cannot be except pure love and understanding. If this we are convinced of, automatically everything will fall in right place. And that is why the teacher here takes up. Why these people are not able to practice this? Because Daivi Hisha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Those who have taken refuge in this conviction, they only will go beyond the relativity and get established in the absolute knowledge. Up to here we have seen till yesterday. Now, who are those people who are unable to practice this knowledge? Who are those people? Now, Bhagavan doesn't hesitate to abuse, Do you know what is the reason? You all know about our Kanhaiya Lal. All the time calling Bhagwan Krishna, you feel you are pushing him away. Kanhaiya Lal you say and he comes very close to your heart. The other day I went to somebody's house and he knows my fascination for Kanhaiya Lal. So he said, Swamiji, your lalla is with me. I said, what is my lalla is with you? And then he took out the picture of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, small Laddu Gopal, with a nice, small, cute mala. And he said, see, your lalla is my lalla also. So wherever I move, in the car or anywhere, he has to go with me. See how love it is. So, who are those people who do not follow this knowledge? The Lord, first of all, abuses them left and right. Do you know why He abuses? Right from childhood, he was brought up as if in a slum. Isn't it? Looking after the cow, these calves. And among all the illiterate people, nobody knew during his time what is the meaning of the internet. Very, gaon ke bacche. And naturally, you see in villages and among the slum people, they give abuses very comfortably. And if you want to have satisfaction of having eaten the abuses, go to Brajabhumi today also. They give such lovely abuses. The one who gives is satisfied, the one who eats is also satisfied. So he says, Naradhamaha. Naradhamaha means the worst among human beings. The worst among human beings are those namam prapadyante. They do not accept that there is something higher in this world than the mere material pursuit. See, only material pursuit is not the ultimate in life. Friends, please understand, material prosperity without the foundation of spiritual eminence leads to mental perversion. Material prosperity, if it is not supported by the strength of inner glory or inner evolution, this material prosperity takes us to the animalistic level of existence. And this is what they are called as Naradhamaha. And who are they? Duskrutinaha. Duskrutinaha means those who are of the sinful orientation. What is the sinful orientation? I'll give a very simple definition. Sin is what? Going away from yourself is a sin. Coming back to your own essential self is a merit. See how simple it is. So when we get lost in the objective pursuit, when we are constantly wanting to possess the worldly things, when we constantly want to indulge in the worldly objects, and when we constantly want to assess our progress with reference to the external prosperity alone, we are sinful. See? And our sin level goes to such an extent that we imagine, if I have given some donation for some cause, I have done a merit. This is the highest sin. Because still the value for the material world is intact in the mind. Therefore, Duskrutinaha, those who are sinful, Mudhaha, the third word. See, one abuse. First, Naradhamaha, the worst among human beings. Why worst among human beings? Because the purpose for what the Lord has sent us, that purpose is not fulfilled through us. Suppose we appoint a boy for a job. Ramu, you should give me water every 1 hour because I don't remember, I am thirsty. And it becomes very difficult for me. Okay. And the Ramu doesn't give because he also doesn't remember. And then I tell him, hey, when I appointed you, why don't you do that? I have forgotten. How can you forget? Swamiji, when you can afford to forget, why not me? So the purpose for what he was appointed, if he has not done the job, he will be removed from the job. The purpose for what we are sent by the Lord in this world, if it is not fulfilled, the Lord will remove us from the human form and put us into a buffalo form. No purpose. See? Now what is the purpose? The Lord has to fulfill through us only one purpose. Express the divine bliss in and through every action, every thought, every word. That is the only purpose. And this we can do if the flow of the inner bliss is not arrested by the dams of the duality. Then alone it is possible. So, those who don't understand this and waste their total life only in the material pursuit, they are called as Mudhaha. So, 3 qualifications. Duskrutinaha, Mudhaha, Naradhamaha, and the 4th one. Mayaya apahruta jnanaha. Those whose wisdom is taken away by the knowledge gained through the senses. See, what is the meaning of Maya? Ma means measurement. Like you must have seen on the TV. 4 महानगरों का तापमान. So that root ma means measurement, man. So ma, ya, that knowledge which is not the complete knowledge. For example, what I am seeing by my eyes is not the totality that I can see. Our eyes can function only in the spectrum of the vibgaya or color, not beyond that. From the violet to the red, That is the only spectrum in which our eyes can catch the light waves. Beyond that it cannot go. But if I say, whatever I see, that alone is true, and beyond that there is nothing, this insistence is called as Maya. See? What can we hear? A particular spectrum of the sound waves. Beyond that, our ears cannot comprehend. That doesn't mean that the sound does not exist beyond that limit. Similarly, our mind can comprehend up to a particular limit. Beyond that, the mind cannot go. So is the case with the intellect. But what we do, whatever I see, that alone I believe or accept. Whatever I can understand, that alone is right. What I don't understand, it is wrong. See the wisdom? So, the ability of our misunderstanding is the wisdom that we carry with us. And that is what is called as the Maya. Mayaya apahruta jnana. And therefore, their understanding is looted away. Apahruta, looted away. That is why those who are so much attached to their faculties, their mind, their intellect, and imagine, when I cannot understand, how can others understand? I tell you many times when we go, in one management seminar I went. In management seminar I don't bring anything of this Bhagavad Gita Upanishad. The thought is from there. The polish is the managerial language. That's it. And in this, when I was talking somewhere, and because of the habit or whatever it is, I said, this is how the same topic is brought out in Gita in this verse. After that, my lecture was over, and the president of that management association, he came and he said, Swamiji, you are tremendous. So what happened? This is from Gita, and even I did not know. I said, I'll tell Krishna, how could you say that without his knowledge? Now tell me, when the educated and corporate people or corporal people say this kind of thing, this is what is said, Maya apahruta jnanaha. Now why their knowledge is looted away? Because asuram bhavam ashritaha. Asura bhava is what? Asu means senses. Asura means those who are the victims of their own senses. So those who are extremely materialist and extremely indulgent in their lifestyle, they are called as the asuras. Sura means the sura, laya, tala. Asura means they do not have any rhythm and beauty of life, leading like the animals. Sura is possible only for human beings. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. For a donkey, only one thing, no sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Therefore, asuram bhavam asritaha, those who do not have the music of life, they are constantly indulgent like the animals as is. Such people, they do not accept and imagine the higher potentiality in existence. See? Only living at the body level, only living at the sense level, only living at the prana level, only living at the mental level, only living at the intelligence level is not the dignity and fulfillment of human existence. We have to transcend and go to the absolute, and from there again look back to the relative and discover that all that was a burden is a most beautiful place to live with. Asuram bhavam asritaha. But people who are thus extrovert, naradhamaha, they will never understand the higher possibility of human existence. That is why such people, when they talk to us, they say like that. Swamiji, what you are telling, if everybody becomes like you, how this world will continue? I said, you are such a great social worker. You are so much worried about the continuance of the world. Do you know who are the social workers? They are constantly searching for problems. They don't like a place where there are no problems. When the problems are there, they will go and do the social service. And in that, they find fulfillment. See? The other day, one very sweet girl, with so many good qualities she has, she came, she said, Swamiji, I have completed my graduation. Now I am thinking to do some special course for the spastic children. So, will you please bless me? I said, no, I won't bless you. So, why? I said, don't go into that business. In this world, healthy people are more, unhealthy people are less. If the energy of the healthy people is directed for some creativity, it is a better service to the society than going among the unhealthy people and wasting the whole life. Think. Therefore, here the teacher says, Mayaya apahruta jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. They are constantly engaged in the self-worship. See, you go and see, I have once been called here in Bombay only. I don't remember where they have called me. In Lions Club's, big function. All the dozens of clubs were together and I was called there. And the program was distribution of the Jaipur leg to the person who don't have the leg, cut leg like that. And when I was there, I was enjoying the tamasha. I don't get miserable. I was enjoying. One leg, that Jaipur leg, it was held in the center. And about 20-30 of the lions, they were touching, like, we do the puja. They are touching that. And all of them were looking at the camera. Camera means everything is mine. Looking at that. And then photographing all that. And the person to whom that leg was to be given was in a corner unclaimed. See. Mayaya apahruta jnana asuram bhavamasita. Now, the opposite picture. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrutino arjuna. First word dushkrutinaha. Second are sukrutinaha. The good people, who are good people? Those who are introvert, they are good people. Those who are extrovert are bad people. Very simple definition. Because goodness is within, it is our inherent quality. It is not to be borrowed from outside. Sukrutinaha. And those who are essentially good will always engage themselves in goodness without a planning. Planned goodness is a business. Think. The goodness must come naturally, like the fragrance from the flower, like the light from the sun. Then alone we grow. If you take the lives of all great masters, take Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, take Tulsidas ji, take Mirabai, take our Narsi Mehta, none of them have ever said in their life that I am helping somebody, I am doing good to the society. No. See how important it is. Sukrutinaha. Those whose attention is all the time on the reality, and if something good happens, they give the credit 100% to the Lord. Oh Lord, thy will be done. Not mine, not mine, not mine. See? Sukrutinaha, such purely introvert people, all the time in the tune with the divine music. Sukrutinaha. Who are those? They are four types. One is Artaha, second is Jijnasu, third is Artharthi, and fourth is Jnani. Hey Bharatarshava, the son of India, the one who is blessed to live a spiritual life. Please remember, India, called as Bharata, is basically a spiritual land. The material prosperity is the byproduct of the spiritual existence in our country. Forgetting that we are aping the West and therefore becoming wasted in our life. India has always been the world teacher. And to this great country we are born, alas, that becomes a secondary and only the mockery of prosperity that we see around. Hey Bharatarshava, there are 4 good people who discover higher potentiality in them. Who are those? First, Artaha. Artha means what? We have, all of us have, some or the other problems. There is nobody in this world who does not have problems. Even the electric post has a problem. You know that? In the morning, you go and see. The nighties come out of the bed, not with the dog, not with the God, but with the dog. And then take the dog. And the dog knows which is my electric post. And he goes there and then Purnamadaha, Purnamidham, Purnat, Purnamadaha. Is it not? So in this world, there is nobody who does not have problem. Now, the question is, when we have problem, where do we approach? To have problem is one thing. And to get the solution to the problem, whom do we approach? If we approach again the same world where problems are abundantly present, we are going the wrong way. One beggar going to the other beggar and asking for, I got tamaku, do you have chuna? See? If you have problem, no problem. Approach the Lord. And where is the Lord? The Lord is seated in your heart. Don't seek support from this constantly changing world. Discover all the strength in you. See? Artaha. Therefore, those who are the devotees of the Lord, don't mistake them to be weaklings. Who are the weaklings? When the problems of our life come, we go to our friends, we go to the ministers, we go to the police, we go to the underworld, we go to the overworld to solve the problems of our life. That is a weakness. The real strength is all the problems can be sorted out with the divine will, provided we are able to tune our will with His will. And for that, discover His presence in your heart. Therefore, when every misery reminds us of the divine presence, that every misery is an event of celebration in our life. Because what is celebration? Remembering something higher is a celebration. So, Artaha. Therefore, let the difficulties come, and when every difficulty is able to remind us of the Lord, is it not very good that difficulty should come to our life? See? So simple and so straight. In Mahabharata, the character of Kunti is there, the mother of Pandavas, and she prays to the Lord. Everybody asks so many things. When her turn came, she said, "Oh Lord, if you have to give me problems. Because I know after the problems you come. You are a prerequisite for the arrival. So the moment the problems are there, you definitely follow." That is why Artaha, such people with every difficulty in life, they remind themselves of something higher, therefore they are good, and they do my bhajan. I'll tell the word bhajan later. Second thing, jijnasuhu. See, it is good to have inquiry. With inquiry alone, we can reach the reality. But the inquiry should be born out of the sincerity to know, rather than the objection or the examination. Questions can have different shades. One of the shades of the question is, we want to know something, therefore we ask. Second shade of the question is, we object. How come he is such a stupid? That means we object, he cannot be stupid. He is a Maha stupid. Belonging to Maharashtra, therefore Maha stupid. And the third is, there is a sense of examination. All are questions. So one student wrote in the examination, the question was, what is the capital of Cambodia? The student wrote, sir, you know very well, why are you kidding? Now the sir knows definitely, but the question was asked that you should reply, you should know. So when jitnasa is kindled in our life, understand, our mind has become purer and purer. Therefore, jitnasu, the one who wants to know more and more about what the world is, what I am, who is the God who has created this world, and what is that one factor which is supporting the total relativity. Such a person who is engaged in this inquiry will definitely transcend the relativity and end up in the absolute bliss. Therefore, they are sukrutinaha, good-natured people. The third, artharthi, the one who are seeking artha. Artha means money. Now, if we want to earn money in this world, there is no sin. Earn money. But the question is, what will you do with that money? See, in Bhagavad Mahapuran, there is one episode of a Brahmin from Ujjaini. He was very rich and extremely covetous. Lot and lot of wealth he has accumulated. And he never thought of sharing it with anybody. And when the time came, the money started getting evaporated. In this world, the money will never remain with you all time. The most unsteady thing in this world is the wealth. So, what is the wealth that a seeker seeks? The real wealth is not the external prosperity. Artharthi, the real wealth is the peace within. Those who are seeking peace within, they alone are practicing the scientific way of living. Otherwise, all the time completely tense, agitated, disturbed, working day and night, and inside there is constant tension, frustration. What is the use of all that? You know that famous story? There was a happy man sitting on the side of a big lake, and his business was go there comfortably, fish, 2 fish only, not more than 2. One is to keep for himself, one is to stand on the roadside, any car wala goes, takes that fish, gets his money, enough for him, leading happily. One day one multinational virus came, and when that virus came, started, hey, what do you do? He said, I do nothing, I enjoy myself. Enjoy yourself. You cannot. Then, why don't you buy some boat? Then what will I do? You will get more catch. Then thereafter, you will have export. You will have a lot of money. People will work for you. You don't have to work. Then you can go to the hill stations or the places like this and enjoy. He said, that is what I am doing already. See? Therefore, artha, the real meaning of life is peace and contentment and fulfillment. Therefore, artho jidnyasu artharthi, and the fourth type of person who seeks higher potentiality is jnani. Jnani means one who has discovered himself to be the absolute truth, and not the relative suffering entity. See? Please be attentive. Right this moment, I take you to the absolute. If you cooperate. If you operate, gone. See, when you look at anything, like I am looking at you, you are looking at me. And here you stop. Stop at the level of perception. No projection. Perception not followed by projection is perfection. But what we do? When I look at something, perception. Thereafter, projection begins. He is good, she is good. He is bad, she is bad. He is required, she is required. This is important, that is not important. And all these projection create a non-existing world. And we all live in that non-existing world. And this is how we are carried away from our own self. Therefore, this is very simple spiritual practice. Live in this world. Don't react. Only act. When we stop reacting, keep living in the act of divine existence. The divinity is expressing through us all the time. Such a person does not have the load of likes and dislikes. He does not have to calculate how to interact with whom, because there are no intentions. The mind is pure and clean. So, artho jidnyasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshapha. And once you have discovered this, that it is I alone who is talking from here, it is I alone who is sleeping from there. See? Will I ever get disturbed? One day, this happened in north somewhere, Patiala or somewhere. There was one elderly man. I gave there only one lecture. So, a huge crowd came and the lecture was organized like this seat and all that. And there was one elderly man, he came, must be some respected man of that particular place. He came and sat. Like I am sitting here and he was sitting like this. So many of the people could see him also. Like when you are sitting face to face me, others cannot see your face. But these people who are sitting, to them you can see them. When you get bored of me, you can look at them. Or you when you get bored of them, you can look at me. That is better. So he was sitting like this. And the whole audience was giggling, laughing. And this fellow was undisturbed. He was so methodically, sincerely sleeping. And I had noticed that, but I continued. After the lecture was over, one of the organizer came and he said, Swamiji, I am so sorry. You know, that Chachaji, he came and he was just sleeping and all that, you know. I am so sorry. I said, why you should be sorry? I said, who was talking alone was sleeping. See, you can never have any reaction. If you have this feeling that I am talking and people are sleeping, then you will get angry. On the contrary, if somebody is sleeping in the speech, the responsibility lies with the speaker. He is so lullabying that you can easily go to sleep. It is not the fault of the sleepers. Like, you know, one Mahatma, whenever his lecture is to be over, all used to be awakening. So, artho jidnyasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshapha. So, who is the jnani? He who is undisturbed by anything in this world because he has discovered he alone is expressing through everything and being. See, when our own leg is on our own leg, or when we sleep in the summer days with our own hand on our own belly, we say, hey, kya ho gaya? No. And if suppose a small little cute cockroach was flying, and he finds a very good landing runway, and if he comes and lands on your Madhya Pradesh, suddenly you get disturbed. Why? Because that I am not. So Jnani is the one who has discovered his identity with the subjective and the objective existence. And therefore, Jnani is the supremely great seeker of the truth. So, Jnani cha Bharatarshava. And therefore, the teacher says, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Priyo Hi Jnani Notyartham Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha. So, Tesham, of all the four characters that we are told, Artho, Jidnyasu, Artharthi and Jnani, among the four, Jnani Vishishyate. The man of knowledge, wisdom and experience definitely outwits all other people. How does he outwit? Because his life becomes naturally one with the totality. There is no cause in his behavior. For the Artha, there is a cause. I want to remove the miseries, therefore I am struggling. For the Jidnyasu, I want to know something, therefore I am struggling. For the Artharthi, I want to purify myself, therefore I am struggling. But the Jnani has already attained, and therefore the life is effortless flow of divinity in and through, in spite of everything. And therefore he outwits all other categories. Friends, the insignia of realization is spontaneity in your lifestyle. Wherever there is a load of obligation, there cannot be spontaneity. It's very, very important. And that is why it is necessary that all spiritual progress means giving up all the artificiality of life. We all are behaving properly in front of others. Our real self comes out when we are all by ourselves only. Nobody is there. And then the real self comes out and starts looking at us. And we get frightened. And therefore, we want a TV, we want a newspaper, we want music, because we cannot face ourselves. All the time, we were leading only artificial life. Friends, the more natural we are, nearer to the reality we are. This is so simple and so straight. So, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhakti Vishishyate. Now the second word is Nitya Yuktaha. Nitya Yuktaha means what? He is eternally established in this experience without any breach in between. For us, we are spiritual only for a short period of time, like the spiritual influenza attack. Like, many people when they come for the camp, this time I was somewhere and meditation camp was over. And then one of the participants came. He said, Swamiji, it was all right here. There was no problem. You are guiding us. But when we go home, what we should do now? I said, you carry with me. Carry me with you. See? Our spirituality is not continuous. It comes as an attack and disappears as an attack. Nitya Yuktaha. It is an eternal, unbroken, effortless, choiceless existence. Nitya Yuktaha. And we can be eternally united only with the eternity. We cannot be united with the temporary things for all the time. Because when the things are temporary, how can we be eternally united? This is what our Mirabai said. Why should I marry such a man who himself is temporary? Why not marry Kanhaiya Lal, who is eternal, so that my Saubhagya will never die away? See the beauty. Nitya Yuktaha and Eka Bhaktihi. There is no Vyabhichar. Vyabhichar is divided loyalty. See? We work for the government, but we are loyal to our wife and children, not to the government. So, money we earn from one source, but all is meant for someone else. Here, Eka Bhaktihi. We want nothing but the Lord and the Lord. So, the seeking and the sought does not have any differentiation. And therefore, he outwits all the other categories. And therefore, Priyo hi jnaninaha aham. And I am dear to these wise people because they have transcended the foundation of the absolute existence. Just get this whole thing into our system. Just imagine. This is only imagination. Huh? You come home and your wife receives you with great love and affection. That is what I told. Just imagine. You can imagine easily that God came and stood before you. It is not difficult. But when I come from outside in the evening, the wife is receiving me with great love and affection. I can't even imagine this. So just imagine. How happy you will be, extremely happy. Now go further in your imagination. Wherever you go in this world, everywhere, everyone receives you with great love and affection. What will be the experience of joy and fulfillment? This can happen only when you are able to merge your individuality in the totality to such an extent that nobody finds you an alien, nobody finds you someone other than him. And this can happen only when the ego is dissolved and the divinity starts manifesting. Friends, this is not imagination I am telling you. Those who have lived with our Swami Akhandanji Maharaj, they know. All the devotees used to have the same experience. Many times they will come and say, Swamiji, Maharaj Sri, he loves me so much. Everybody the same thing. Because in his love, there was no clause. He was not possessing anybody. He was belonging to everybody. See? Like the love of all the people during the winter hours for the sun is the same, because he is available to everybody with the same spontaneity and without any reservation. And therefore, tesham jnani nityayuktaha eka bhakti vishishate priyo hi jnaninaha aham. I am dear to these wise people because atyartham, without any cause. See, in Upanishad the statement comes, the wife is dear to the husband not for the sake of the wife but for his own sake. The son is dear to the father for the sake of the son? No, for his own sake. But the self is dear to us for the sake of the self alone. Because the self is the source of the infinite bliss. He who has touched and opened this fountain of the divine bliss cannot but bless the world effortlessly, and therefore he is most dear to me and I am dear to him. See, whom will we like? Suppose you give some job to somebody, and after that You say, hey, what happened to that? Hey, I'm so sorry, I have forgotten. Okay, never mind. Second time you give the job to the same person for something else. Have you done that? Actually, I tried it, but I am not finding out an excuse to tell. Alright, never mind. The third time we tell, will you please do it? Yes, I'll do it. And after one day or 2 days you ask, it is not done. You told me. I forgot. When this is repeated 3 times, 4th time, will you ever go to such a person? No. In the same manner, here the Lord says, I have created man in my image. Purpose is mine, not his or hers. What is his purpose? The purpose the Lord has created the world is only one purpose, to express the infinite happiness. See? I have only one daughter and billions of dollars. Naturally, that is the most important thing in my life when she gets married. So, she has found out one kabutar and I had to say that he is very nice. And then I want to celebrate the marriage. So, I will hire Indian Airlines or Air India as flight. And all the stars from the Bollywood, Hollywood, Gillywood, Alawood, all those stars will be studied in that aeroplane. And at 40,000 feet above sea level, there will be pe. But why do you waste so much of money? Because I have. See? Friends, when you are overflowing with love and happiness, you are extravagant in your expenditure, is it not? In the same manner, the Lord, an ocean of bliss and happiness, cannot create a world with little happiness, not more, because I have to save for tomorrow. Therefore, the Lord has created this world only to express His inherent bliss. And if that inherent bliss expression is not happening through us, what will He do? I told that man to do the job once, twice, thrice. He never did. I will never talk to him again on that topic. God has created us to express His happiness. We don't express happiness because we are naradhamaha, dushkrutinaha, mudhaha, mayaya apavruta jnanaha, asuram bhavamachitaha. So what he will do? He will say, never mind. Next life, I will not do this mistake. Somebody has to correct. If you cannot correct, I will correct myself. This is how, please remember, there is no purpose of our existence other than His will. And His will only one. Let us express the divine bliss in and through every action and word, in every place, in every situation. Doesn't matter what you are doing. Whether you are giving a talk or listening a talk. Whether you are cooking the food or eating the food, both are the expression of the same divine happiness. While cooking food, if you are all the time frustrated, I don't know why, I don't know this the whole life. And when such a food is eaten by somebody, he is bound to get constipation for 10 lives. Like that. Similarly, the most beautiful food that lady has prepared in the home, and this Mahatma comes from outside, frustrated in the outer world. Such people, when they come at home, they become Lions Club members. Those who are all the time angry at home, those who are all the time bullying the children and the wives, they are failures in their life. And they take the revenge of the outside failure on those poor creatures at home. There is no other reason. And Such a beautiful food is kept in front of, and Bhagavan will say, I have done a mistake, that I offered him good cooked food. He deserves only the naturopathy food. So next life I will make him a bakra. Go and graze him. Don't eat such beautiful food, One person asked me, Swami, how come normally Swami's take, kind of food, the fruits and the milk and the boiled vegetable and all that. And how come you take everything? I said, I am not a Swami. I enjoy my life. Please remember, only one purpose of our life. Let the divine joy express through us. When you eat, eat joyfully. When you cook, cook joyfully. When you walk, walk joyfully. Not fatak. Kahan ja rahe hain? Pata nahi, I don't know. This is not life, friends. And therefore, such people are next life bound to be destroyed. Now, when this is said, when the wise man is glorified, that I really like him because he deserves. Naturally, the other three fellows, Artho, Jidnyasur, Artharthi, they started looking at each other. Apna koi kaam nahi. Bhagavan says, no. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvatmaiva me matam astitaha sahi yuktatma mame evanuttamam gatim. It's not that others are bad. Udara. Udara means what? Udara means those who have great vision and great mission and great life. They are udar. Those who are able to think big, they alone can attain something great. Those who are thinking very small, me and my wife, nobody should be around. Such people live in matchboxes. See, udara means, there is a Sanskrit shloka which says, Ayam nijo paro veti ganana lagu chetasam. Those who constantly talk the language of mine and your and mine. See, I was in Stuttgart in Germany, staying with some friend of mine. And I have learned after going to the Western world, never ask any question about your personal life. That is the rule. In our place, how the people ask. One day one Westerner came and was sitting with me. And I had some work. I said, hey, you keep sitting, I'll just come. This gentleman, he'll talk to you. Now what the gentleman did? A typical old Gujarat. Started taking the whole Kundali. Beta, where from you have come? I have come from Germany. Who is at home? Mom and dad. They stay together or they are divorced. And were you married? You had love marriages or you are divorced? And how come you are after our Swamiji? And for half an hour I was out, and after I came, everything was over. Then that girl told me, Swamiji, I have never faced such a terrible interview in my life. There is no need to ask about anybody anything. No need to ask. But we are udar. Ask about everybody's all details. There is no need. So, ayam nijo paro veti. This is what I was telling you. So when we went to their house, she started telling me, Swamiji, this is my dog. That is his cat. This dining table is mine. The chairs are his. This crockery is mine. But the cooking pans are his. So, ayam nijo paro veti. This is mine, that is his. It is ganana lagu chetasam. They are having the heart of a mosquito. Ganana lagu chetasam. And udara hridayanam tu, those who have got a really large heart, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. For them, the whole world is our family. The other day, about half a dozen Westerners came and they were with me 3-4 places. So I told my people, I said, hey, Angrez are coming, you fix them wherever you want. I had no objection. Now in our country, no Atithi Devo Bhava. So those people who fix them in their houses gave their bedroom to those people. And they sleeping in the drawing room. All comforts were given to them. And after the whole program was over, these people came, they said, virtually in tears, Swamiji, even when you have come to our house, we have not given you this much of honor, respect and comfort as much these unknown people from villages have given to us. We are not even known to them. What and where from you Indians have learned this? To give one's own bedroom for the guests is an impossible proposition in the Western world. See? Udara Hrudayanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. There is nobody foreigner, nobody alien. Everybody is a friend, only not introduced to each other. So Udara Hrudayanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So these Udara Sarva Evaite. All these 4 other people, they are all great. There is nothing wrong about them. However, Jnani tu Atma eva me matam. But the man of wisdom is not separate from me. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, it is very clearly stated. The saint is my manifestation. See? Please understand. Love, anger, devotion, hatred, jealousy, cruelty. These are not the objects that you can show. They require a heart to manifest. Similarly, the Lord is not an object to be shown. This is Krishna standing there all the time. No. That Lord is taking the support of the hearts of the saints and the sages, and through them he is expressing. And therefore, Jnani tu Atma eva me matam. And Astita sahi yuktatma mama eva anuttamam gatim. Because he is ever established in my absolute abode of non-duality. After having said this, then the teacher says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlavaha. When the wise man is glorified, all of us want to become wise overnight, like a mushroom. Many people, when they hear or do one lecture of meditation here and there, come with 101 questions. Swamiji, when I was sitting, no, how many times you have done this thing? For the first time. In one go, nothing will happen. Have patience. How much patience? Bahunam janmanamante. After we have gone through a steady progress for many lives, then alone we become introvert and suspect higher potentiality of our existence. How many in this world ever think of something higher other than to get education, to become smart, to get married, to have children, to have 1 or 2 houses, 1 or 2 cars, and have name and fame, and one day die? This is done by every Tom, Dick and Harry. There is nothing great about it. Even animals do that without houses. If that is all we are going to do, there is nothing great in us. Therefore, today if we are on this path as we are here today, this is not an accident. Bahunam janmanamante. Many lives we have gone through already, and therefore we are attracted towards this higher scientific way of living. This usual, routine, animalistic way of living we have tried. We have nothing but blisters and never a bliss. Now we are searching for the bliss because blisters are extremely painful. Then what is to be done? Remove the shoes if they are creating blisters. You know, these ladies, for their, during their younger days, for having a particular type of walking and all that, high heel and narrow toe, as a result the toe goes this way and all the weight comes on the this last tarsal bone, and they keep on walking many months and years, and when the old age comes, this toe climbs the second toe and it looks so ugly like that. See? What for? I must walk in a style. Is that all in life? There is something higher, Maharaj. Those who are able to suspect higher potentiality in life, they definitely have gone through a great spiritual practice, as we are told in our 6th chapter. Yoga Bhrashtaha. He is naturally attracted toward the spiritual life. So, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. And such a person attains the knowledge. And what is the sign of attainment of knowledge? Surrender to the divine will is the highest attainment in life. Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. And then what is his experience? Vasudevaha Sarvam Iti. The whole world is nothing but the manifestation of the divine reality. See? When we see a man from the backside, we don't know who he is. And when we happen to see him from the front, and he happens to be the Prime Minister of India, suddenly our interaction will change, isn't it? Because someone great. Imagine, when you look at a person and you suddenly discover that he is none other than the expression of the divinity, will not our attitude change towards the world? Therefore, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And what will be our attitude? Our attitude will be that of reverence, that of submission, that of blessedness, and no competition, no jealousy, no hatred. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, such a Mahatma Sudurlabha. Rare indeed is a person who is able to see the divine expression even in the most ugly things in this world. So Mahatma Sudurlabha. Because now the cataract is removed and all the illusions of duality has disappeared, and everywhere from the language of devotion we say such a master sees the God everywhere. From the language of Yoga Shastra it is said he sees himself reflected everywhere. Don't we love the mirror because we are reflected in that? Do we say, I don't like to see the mirror in a bathroom. I like to see in the mirror which is only in my bedroom. We don't care where the mirror is because it is reflecting me. In the same manner, when we are able to see in and through every being in this world, it is I alone who is reflected. The love is natural, and this natural love for the whole world is rare indeed, although that alone is the fulfillment of life. Therefore, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Now, after having said this, the question is, why the people run here and there? Why they don't discover this beautiful experience of life? The teacher says, Kamaistaiste Rutajnana Prapadyante Anyadevata Tam Niyamamasthaya Prakrutya Niyata Svaya. People are interested in the fulfillment of desires so much that they do not have even the suspicion of higher possibility of our existence. And therefore, Even their spirituality is only for the fulfillment of their desires and not discovering their essential nature. The thought continues. We will conclude tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.